welcome to the first episode of Baklavurger. Today we are going to bake Baklavurger. It's not baklava, it's not burger, it is Baklavurger. So let's get started. Let's start by caramelizing the onions. The best type of onions are the yellow ones. They have a natural sugar content and balance in flavor, which make it perfect for caramelization. We are going to cut the two sides of the onion and then cut it in half. Also make sure to remove the first layer of the onion, since usually it doesn't get cooked evenly as the other inner side of it. In a sauté pan, put a little bit of olive oil. Then put the onions all together in a medium-high heat. You can add more oil if needed, and of course some salt to draw the moisture. Feel free to add some water to release this caramel color on the bottom. When onions get caramelized, they will shrink in size. They will take 10 to 20 minutes to be ready, which it depends on how soft you want it to be. For me, I don't like to cook them a lot. I like to keep them a bit oniony. We will have a full video on how to make the perfect caramelized onions from scratch and how to make different types of caramelized onions. For the baddies, we need ground beef with at least 25% fat and of course some spices: black pepper, ground coriander, garlic powder, chili powder, and salt. This is around half teaspoon of each on 300 grams of ground beef. Don't feel afraid to season the baddies properly. Usually baddies take more seasoning than anything else. Since we are making two baddies, we're gonna cut this amount on half. Then we're gonna make a little bowl, put it on any sort of plate you have so we can shape it quickly. So if you have such a plate, this will help you actually shape the baddie quickly, but if you don't really need it, so we can shape it by hand. It's originally actually by hand, but it takes more time to be shaped. So just press gently, don't press too hard, because this will also help when cooking it. It will be more juicy from inside. Now the baddies are ready, so we are going to start with our buns. Or let's call them Baklavurger buns. This is a sandwich bread, or you can say it's like a toast without crust. So you can find it anywhere in the supermarket. So it's easy to cut. As you see, we can just cut it on the shape we want. We can use like any sort of cutter, or we can cut it on knife. We're gonna make two types. We're gonna make a circle type and a square type. We're gonna start first by adding some butter to the pan, and let's cook our baddies. Usually they don't take much time, 2 to 3 minutes from each side. And of course, let's try to keep as much as possible this juice, this goodness. This is what is gonna keep the flavor and also gonna keep it juicy till the end. And of course, never waste this fat. It's rich and full of flavors, which will make it perfect to fry an egg. It might look messy, but it will taste like heaven, I promise. And since we're almost done with our preparation, we still have just to grill the buns and then we are ready to go. So more butter on the pan, and once it's spread evenly, we put our circle shape toast, and we try as much as possible to grill them evenly from both sides. And also the butter and the grilling will give it a really nice taste and also a little crust, but also will prevent leaking the fat and the sauce from the Baklavurger. So this will definitely help. So don't think about skipping this part unless you are using an actual burger buns. So this also will help because they are baked from outside, so they have sort of isolation to the burger. And now we have everything ready, so let's put it all together. For Baklavurger we need ghee, or purified butter, and it's the main secret ingredient for this recipe. And of course, phyllo dough, or the baklava dough. For this recipe we need multiple layers, because we're going to make two different types, the rounded Baklavurger and the square Baklavurger. For the square one we need 2 layers, and for the rounded one we will need 1 layer only. And 1 layer because we are going to fold it. And for the other one, we are going to use it as it is, and then we are going to fold it around. Feel free to use more than 1 to 2 to maximum 3 layers, because 3 layers and then it will be a little bit difficult to get baked, unless if you add a layer of ghee between each phyllo dough layer, and this will make a separation between the layers and it will make it crunchy. We make sure to cover the small cake mold with a generous amount of ghee so we can get a very crunchy baklavurger from outside. We put the phyllo dough on the top of the cake mold and we start pressing gently inside until we make enough space for the rest of the ingredients. We add another layer of ghee and then we start with the first bun, and of course adding some sauces. I will go very classic this time and I will add mayo and ketchup to this recipe, but feel free to add barbecue sauce or any type of sauces you like, followed by the patty, the egg, and of course the fried onions. I should have put cheese underneath the egg, but it's no problem. We can work it out this time. So more cheddar cheese in the top, and then of course the last layer of the bun, also with extra ghee, so we can make sure that it sticks very well and also crunchy. So we need also to add more ghee in the top. Actually, the messiest it look before it gets into the oven, the prettiest it will look afterwards. So this is actually the signature of Baklavurger. So don't make it too pretty, because once it's baked, it's always gonna be pretty. Sprinkle some black cumin on the top of the Baklavurger. And now let's prepare for the second one. So if you don't have a cake mold, this can be done also without. And that's why we've done the square shaped buns. So we repeat the same steps, but this time we add 2 cheddar cheese, because why not? And now we start folding the phyllo dough. So we don't want to make it pretty as we agreed, and we start also covering it with the ghee from all sides, because this is what's gonna give it a really good flavor and also gonna make it crunchy. We sprinkle also a black cumin and some sesame seeds on both Baklavurgers. And now we have the oven is preheated on 230 degrees Celsius. We set it for 10 minutes so we don't burn the Baklavurgers. And after 10 minutes, voila, we have our Baklavurgers ready to be eaten. Let's make a cross section between both Baklavurgers and see how they're gonna look like from inside. Let's start with the circled one, which is my favorite one. But honestly, the squared one is the first version of Baklavurger. So the first time I made it ever was a squared one. And I start improving it until it reached the circled version, which is the latest version. So let's see how both they're gonna look from inside, and then let's give it a taste. So as we see, it's still juicy, it's well baked, and of course, what is Baklavurger without fries? Let's try this out. I don't know what to say, but I'm in love.